Malachi, a restoration to its original format. This will be part 1, and I'm going to get to the text now, and we're going to take a look at it. Lights on, okay, computer's good. All right, now what I've done is I try to speed these up a little bit. I already went and found the format. I'm not sure everybody wants to watch that video as I go through and I find it, and that it gets kind of boring and long. So what I do want to do is just note that I've started changing some of the text. There is no such thing as an oracle. It's a prophecy from YV. These are truths that our Creator is going to have or make happen. Okay. Israel, I made it bold to mean that it's the kingdom Israel. Now, when I say this, you have to understand the timelines. So we're going to have to go through here and take a look at what time for Israel as a nation, because either it's a whole nation or it's a half a nation. Okay. A prophecy from YV to Israel through Malachi. I have loved you, says YV. But you will say, and I added the word will, how have you loved us? And then I've corrected the text and added, is Esau's brother, or is Esau's Jacob's brother? The question mark. Yet I have blessed Jacob. Now that's because he's the first, or the eldest son receives the blessing that's being passed down from the time from Noah, and it's gone to Shem's. Abraham is from Shem, then Abraham, Isaac, and then Jacob. Okay, and this is a blessing that he's passed down. I have hated Esau's and made his mount desolation. I hated Esau. I have hated Esau. Now, Esau's is descendants, not him himself. I would have to add the word when I hated Esau's. All right. I'm going to have to put the eye back over here on this side. I made his mount, not mountains, his mount a desolation. I've been over this. There's no mountains in Israel because these mounts look down and they're flat plains. This is the Jordan. A desolation. Now he didn't make it a desolation because this time here is explaining the battle that David, let's say, yeah, this is the battle that David had with Edom. And see, these are mounts, okay? And this down here was the mount that our Creator actually talked to Moses, and it was not wherever you think it was in the Bible. It has it stated. But what they're talking about is this battle. What happened was David, when he was under Saul, he fled from Saul because Saul was trying to kill him, King Saul. And David fled to Edom, and the king for Edom actually said, okay, David, you can live here. And then Saul did not pursue him to kill him. So later, after David is king, all of a sudden, this king dies in Edom, and David goes and sends his messengers and tells them, oh, feel sorry for you and stuff like this. Yet his advisors advise him that David's spying him out, and he sends his men back stripped down, almost naked. And then David comes out and he's going to take him on as a battle because he's hearing that from our Creator there's a prophecy I think I already did that in one of the, I think it was Nahum that has this prophecy, and he joins forces with Aram up here. I don't think, yeah, you can't see up here, but this line is going to Damascus. Damascus is right there, so you can see. But the object is he sent down reinforcements, and David came out and battled them this way, and David sent out one of his commanders to fight them down this way. Okay, now you know that this is the timeline, and this is at David's time, okay, when these words are happening. And he made him a desolation. Well, he didn't really make him a desolation. That word has to be changed to something better than desolation. Maybe just a remnant, a remnant, remnant. I can't pronounce right now. I'm not thinking. I'm just trying to make sure I tell you the story, what's going on. Because he ended up collecting their silver and gold from these two kingdoms now. So they weren't a desolation. So since it's not a desolation, these words cannot be true. Okay. Though Edom says, although Edom now says, we have been beaten down, we will return. We'll return and build up. It's going to be our ruins. Our ruins. And then our Creator is referring, they, not may, they will build. They will build. They will rebuild. But I will tear down, and men will call them a wicked territory. Well, it's not a territory, it's land. And it's not men that are going to go by, it's going to be travelers. He's talking about people going past there or traveling through. So it's actually travelers. Whoops, not a bold, but this one here. And we'll do this and then that. And travelers will call them the wicked land. And then this verse is out here in the middle of nowhere, and it can't be reconnected. So that is just going to be gone. And he's telling them, your eyes will see this, and you will say, YV is magnified beyond the borders of Israel. Now this would mean that they're saying that this is still at David's time, and if it's at David's time, these are the good guys, okay? Beyond the border, and it's for Israel, not of, for Israel beyond the, you will say, YV magnified us. Magnified. Let's take a look at the word magnified here. Well, and what we're having here is the words that you can see. Let's see. No. No. Yeah, I don't have it set up. I only have to show you. And what I'm doing is I'm looking through the names here on the lower left to see if I can find. I see exalted being used 6 times, or enlarged once. That's not really. Magnified is used 15 times. Well, maybe 24 times. But I like the word exalted to show that their power has been expanded. So magnified will be changed to exalted us. Magnified just didn't sound like the right word. Why they exalted us beyond the borders for Israel. Now here it's kind of be confusing because why are we changing subjects? We're changing subjects awfully fast. And I was trying to figure out the beginning of how I could start this. And yet a son honors his father, and a servant his master. Okay, let's take a look at the word master just for a second here. And master, and you can see off to the side here, the word is Lord more than master, like 200 times, 280 sometimes, and master's used what, 120 times, and yet if you're talking about a father is not a master, he's a lord of the house. Okay, so Lord should be the word being used here, and not this word here. And this needs to be also brought down to here. And now we have a son honors his father. Yeah, I can agree with this, so keep that. And a servant his lord. Whoops, would be Lord, would be a little lord. But if I am a father, where is my honor? I see, this has just got me lost here. This is definitely separate. This is something I don't know because I don't have a beginning to tell me what the story is. And I'm sure this is one of those spots you start reading back and forth like, what the hell, what's going on here? When you're reading about, because all these words wouldn't be so simple brought out in front here. So I changed the word Lord here, and then sorry about that. I keep forgetting that button. And what I've done is I put a space to show that it's different here. Then I've done Lord hears, but I highlighted Father just so I know what's going on. Okay, now you're caught up. A son honors his father, and a servant his lord. If I am a father, it would have to be to you. A father to you, and we don't really know who you is right now. So this needs to be here, but this yellow, put it in yellow. Where is my honor from you? Where is your honor for me? Where is your honor for me? And if I am not your Lord, where is your I forgot to add your here too. Where is your respect for me? For your priests, or your priest despise my name, but you will say, no, that seems familiar. Where would I see that? Up here. But you will say, the love for us. Okay. So it might go together, and it might be just pieces missing or needed to be reordered here. But you will say, how have they because it's respect and honor, and then you're despised your name. Okay. But you will say, how have they despised your name? It needs to be something where he's saying something now. It has to be something like, yet you know they are presenting. Yet you know they are presenting defiled food. No, presenting. Yet you know they are defiling. You know they are presenting. I'm almost trying to think that maybe this should be split and this comes over here because it's kind of like defiled. It's not food, it's offerings. Offerings, and not upon on my altar. So this, and this we have corrected now. Yet you know they are presenting defiled offerings on my altar. Okay, and this, so much has been added, I'll need to make it that I added that. But you will say again, how have they defiled you? This is how they despised his name. Why are they defiled you? They can't defile our Creator. You say the table of YV is to be despised. This table in altar, making it like it's an altar to put food on it for him, and it's this is not true. Because I'm trying to think of how you describe the person that's bringing the sacrifice to be asked to be forgiven. Because you need to be atoned for your sins. And this is what the offerings are about. If you don't know what a sin is, I go through it in my description. There's a video there. That there's 12 commandments, and our Creator defined these as sin, and these are the only things that can be called sins because He demanded a sin offering. That's the whole reason why He had the tent for meeting with Him set up, is so He could forgive them, that they needed atonement for their sin. So, but you will say, how have we defiled you? How have we... That's the word defile is wrong. Maybe I can get that next time. In that you say the table of YV has to be despised, but this... You will say you have despised her name, and you know they are presented. This is a double. This isn't needed. But you will say, and then it says, but you will say, so this is just not needed, okay? Because it's repeating and using the table as an altar, and that's not. When they present, I'm still having a hard time figuring out what I can call these people. When they presented the blind for their sacrifice, is this not evil? Yeah, is this not evil? Question mark. And when they presented the lame or sick, this would have to be just or when they presented the lame and sick, is this not evil? And really, it would be, is this not disrespectful? Is this not, I'm going to use that, despise. Is this not despising my name? Despising me? So this needs to be... Okay. Is this not despise me? Oh yeah, like this is food. I can't get out of my head that this was like this word food. I mean, that's just I might have to come back to that a few times. Because like, will you offer it to the governor? Okay. Will you offer it to your governor? But that's at a different time. It should be king here. Would you offer it to your governor? That too needs to be remembered. Because when I'm trying to figure out when the text actually exists, governors, this would be at Jesus' time. Or when they were in Babylon. Okay? So And now our Creator is speaking in third person. This is just, He may be gracious to us. You will not entreat God's favor, my favor. Is this not despising me? But then again, that just disconnects again here. Because he's talking about the priests, how bad they are. And then all of a sudden, no, you are not entreating my favors, that I may be gracious to you with such an offering on your part, will he receive any of you kindly. Now, this is just absolutely, so much is wrong with this one. An offering is to be forgiven, okay? And there is a peace offering that I know of, and that's different. But these different offerings that are set up in the Bible, they really aren't true. I mean, you got to remember, the tent of meeting was all set up for the forgiveness of sin. So it has nothing to do with going and asking other than to be forgiven. And this is referring to, with such an offering on your part, it's not an offering like, you know, whether the animal is, that is talking specifically for a sin offering. This offering, will he receive you any kindly? I just don't see this as being truthful at all. There's no offering. It's a house for meeting with him to be for you to atone for your sin. That is out. I am not going to allow that in the text. And I've just told you why. Oh, that there were one among them who would shut the gates. Now this would be the gate to his courtyard. But you might not uselessly, that they might not uselessly kindle, and it would be offer on my altar. Because this is getting back to here, okay? This is not getting back to here. This is just too far out there. Shut, and it would be my gate. My gate. If there were, I'm trying to think, oh, that there were one among them, that you, them meaning priests, if there was not one. Oh, that there were only if. Yeah, it would be only if. Oh, this is going to be good replay. Only if one among them. That means they're all being corrupted here, okay? Now, what's strange to me, now that we have the priest corrupt, this is not about Israel. Let me show you something here, and it's important for the simple fact that the only time that the priests were really corrupt was, where was it? because it was Eli. Eli's sons were corrupt, okay? And they were taking the offerings, but it wasn't the people bringing bad offerings at this time. But down here is when David took over Edom. So these are years after. Okay. Now, could this be part of the text that I keep claiming that's lost, and it's in the years of the judges when it was bad? And he's foretelling what David is going to do. Because the only other time that this is bad is that these guys over here aren't in Jerusalem, aren't in the house or tent for meeting with our Creator. Or, yeah, the house for meeting with our Creator is over on this side. So we're not talking about that. And these kings are all good guys. But it started getting bad in this area here. Oops. What is it, just this? These guys, this guy was really corrupt. This guy was meditating to have sex with a so-called female goddess. And he was putting stuff in, and this is the time that they're talking about. Okay. Now that's confusing because the text is now telling me two different things of describing the timing of this text. Okay. Because I have to go back up here. I'm sorry, I'm running a little, I just want to make sure I do it right. Because this is not right now. This is not right. That needs to be changed. But he's foretelling this is the prophecy of David's time. And it is about Israel. But the text below is not about Israel. Because the priests aren't that corrupt. This is all about, okay, this is the separation. This is what I'm having a hard time with. There's two different times going on here. There are two different times. Hundreds of years after David. If only one among them would shut my gates, that they it's not might, would they would not uselessly offer on my altar. Yeah, this isn't a big deal, but this has to be true. And it's not just one altar that they would be on. There's 12 tribes, there's 12 altars. On my altars. On my altars. Would shut my gates. It's almost like this verse doesn't need to be used, does it? If only one among them would shut my gates, For I am not pleased with them, nor do I accept an offering from them. For when the sun rises to the evening sets, my name is great among the nations. This is that will be, it was, so how does this get in there? Will be future. Did the text again change to a different time zone here, or a different displacement of time? For I am not pleased with them. Well, yeah, I could say that all this I'm going to get rid of because, and then bingo like that, would shut my gates, for I am not pleased with them. Nor as will would be due, or do I accept and I would have to put any offering. It would have to be by them. Okay, now that cleans that up. That just, and now this goes to ties up, and it goes with this. Okay. Now, from the rising of the sun even to its setting, would my name will be great among the kingdoms, and in every place incense is going to be offered in my name. That's Buddhism, and no, that doesn't happen. The grain offering is pure. My name will be great among the kingdoms. That's not true. My name is to be great among the kingdoms, but they are profaning it. And that you will say, okay, here again, all this food, this is just not true. Table food, that's, we've already went through everything up there. We don't need to repeat anything. This here, we know they're profaning it, doesn't need it, that would just be a double. You also say how tiresome it is, and sniff at it. That would I receive it from your hand? This is why wouldn't it be all day long here? This just, no, this just, because this is excluding the night, and I'm not going to do that. It's talking about a day, and I can't see how I can put in a day, and then, so this is going to be gone. But I will leave it yellow like a, maybe I'm wrong, which I don't think I am on that one. Let's see here. No, this doesn't. Who would bring by what is robbery and what is lame or sick, and bring an offering that I should receive from their hand. I mean, a robber isn't going to go and make an offering because he's I don't see this as being truthful. But cursed by the swindler who has a male in his flock and vows it, but sacrifices a blemish. This would be up above there, but I am a great king, my name is feared. Okay. This is just silly talk. It really is. I don't see that. Even though what you're seeing is that the writer knew the format. There's so much that can be grouped to be made for group there. Just tells me that the writer knew of the format. And that does place it before, and the group that I was showing you at below is when the priests were really corrupt and the scribes were corrupt, and they were re-editing the text, or re-editing the text for their female goddess and her creator. And now this commandment is for you, priests. If you do not listen, you do not take care in heart. Now it's coming back to this. I will send a curse upon you and curse in your blessing. A priest did give out blessings, but they weren't our Creator's blessing. Okay. And indeed, I have cursed them already because they're not taking it to heart. This command, because it's definitely then not a commandment, is for you priests. It's for you priests. If you do not listen and do not take it to heart to give honor to my name, I will send a curse upon you, and I will curse you like a blessing, like my blessing. I will curse you. This needs to be worked on, but I'm trying to grasp this part of the story. Is it something that's going to go with the text above? And indeed, and it would be it. I have cursed. In other words, he's sending a message, but he kind of knows they aren't going to go back. And I have cursed you already. Yet I have cursed you. Doesn't need this. Yet I have cursed you. This prophecy seems to be directed at the evil priest, which we don't have one of those about them directly, as directly speaking, like what our Creator has been saying here. Yet I have cursed you because you are not taking me into your heart. It's me. Into your heart. Yet I have cursed you because you are not taking me into heart. Okay, so this needs to be edited to mean that. This command is for you, priest. If you do not listen, this curse is for you, priest. This commandment, no, it's a curse. We know it's going to become a curse. So, it's not a commandment. We now know it's a curse. This curse is for you, priest. If you do not listen to me, don't listen to me, and do not take it to heart to give honor to my name, I will send a curse upon you, and I will curse you and not bless you. Okay, that I guess would be the quickest and easiest way to be able to clean that up. Oops, like that. I will send a curse upon you. To curse you and not bless you. Yet I have cursed you. Yet I have cursed you because you are not taking me into your heart. I'm going to reject your offspring. Well, this is nonsense talk here. A curse is a curse, and it's not karma that the children receive this for it. A curse is enough. I will send my curse upon you, to curse you and not bless you. Yet I have cursed you because you are not taking me into your heart. Then this doesn't need to be here. That's just kind of refuse in your face. Then you will know that I have sent this curse to you, that my covenant will continue with Levi. This would be him talking that they have to change for him not to curse them. It's kind of like he's saying repent, okay? And now you will know, then you will know because now I want to put the word repent in here someplace. Or return to me. And I'm having a hard time figuring out how to do that. We're at 50 minutes here. Let me just quickly see. Looks like I got quite a bit yet to go through. Yeah, I got a lot to go through. This is going to be another 3-hour deal, maybe longer. Then you will know that I have sent this curse to you, and my covenant may continue with Levi's. Not a covenant, but promise. Promise. And that it will continue. And my promise continue for this is not working. This is not what's being said. You need to repent. You need to repent. So this is going to be can I do this? I know something's missing here. Okay. I just knew it is. It just doesn't make sense otherwise. Continue with them was one of life of peace. Yes, this was going to connect with this. And I gave to them reverence, or yes, that's what's going to happen there. Now, I've got another maybe 8-9 minutes here. But I see a 3-verse pattern showing up here. But this is connected to above yet, so I must have this broke wrong. Was one of was for their and really I can't think of any text why he I know why he chose them, or to say why he chose them or what he did, but there's no real text I think that says that they were to be revered as being other than they are the priest for their life with peace. And I gave to them reverence. Let me see what just here what kind of words: respect, admiration, I gave to them reverence, I guess. And They stood in awe of my name. And true instructions I'm not sure of the word instructions were and true instructions were from their mouth were from their mouths. And I guess the word instructions I'm going to have to put in yellow there as well, just because I need to look at that again. And this, it's kind of, I gave to them reverence, and they stood in awe of my name, and true instructions were from their mouths. Unrighteousness was not found on their lips. Righteousness was not found. Their lips. Okay. They walked with me in peace and uprightness. I hope my voice, when it goes lower, I keep trying to keep my voice at one level, but it's my mind that gets stuck on these things, and I forget that I'm trying to make a video here. Unrighteousness was not found on their lips, and they grab it from there, and they walked with me in peace and uprightness. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to call it about end right here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just to let you know, because we know the subject here, I'm going to clean up this, remove all this, and come back and show you that as it's cleaned up as a quick review, just to have the opening of the video show the text of what I found before. I'm getting a little bit smarter here, trying to make each video interesting, because they would slide it to the end, but they didn't get to see they just got to see all my thinking, all my mistakes, all my murmuring. So anyway, I'll be back in a bit.